Welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here in the Crow's Nest of Green Hills. We are here for the Winter Sports Kickoff Show. Alongside me is the captain of the hockey team, Evan Scruggs. Thank you for joining us, Evan.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So we just wanted to ask you a few questions about your hockey seasons that's going on so far. So what have you guys been doing over the offseason and going into this fifth game coming up on Friday against Ravenwood to prepare the new guys, especially those who might not have been having a lot of ice time?
Yeah, we've been having a lot of practices, and we've been lifting a lot over the summer and coming into this new school year. And we've been watching a lot of film as well, and just going over new strategies that we can do on and off the ice, just to get our bodies prepared to play as best as we can.
And so with the stiff competition that's in the G-Nash division here, who is your guys' biggest opponents that you're facing this season?
Our biggest opponent's probably NBA. They've been really solid every year, and so it should be a really good game whenever we play them.
So what have you guys done for your senior leadership to lead the team over this season, to show the new guys the ropes, and especially to get those who might not have gotten a lot of ice time, how to get them acclimated to the team?
Yeah, we've been having a lot of full team practices where we integrate the junior varsity into the varsity practices, and I think that's really good for them. It's a huge change of pace for them, and so they can get used to a little faster pace. So it's awesome.
So what has it been like with you guys having a dual goalie situation with Carson Mielnik and as well with Johnny Munyanu, and how has that had an effect on you guys changing up the play style of either goaltender?
Yeah, we've been changing them out usually halfway through the game, and we've actually, for a couple games, we've had Johnny come out and play defense, and he's been really solid back there, really shutting kids down. So it's been awesome being able to have two goalies and be able to heavily rely on both, and they're both really awesome guys.
As a defenseman, in your experience, who are some of the toughest opponents that you've been facing, especially for your other competition this season?
Some of the toughest opponents, I know I have a friend on Indy Summit. He's really solid. He's been playing for a long time, and I know he's going to be a tough one to go against next Monday.
For sure. And so, as well, being a captain, what does that mean for you as well, being a senior and being a captain on the team?
It's definitely not only holding myself accountable, but also holding others accountable, and just having to be out there and having to definitely be a good role model for everybody. So, and just show everybody how to play good hockey and just how to be a good sportsman.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for being with us in this interview.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for joining us for this interview. We are live here at the Crow's Nest in Green Hills for the Winter Sports Kickoff Show. We'll be back in just a few moments. We will have Michael Grimes on, another senior player here for the Irish hockey team. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back momentarily. And as well, joining us right now is Michael Grimes.
What's up, buddy?
Thank you for joining us, man. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
So, Michael, in your experience on the Irish hockey team, what have been some of your most memorable moments that you've made over the seasons, and what are some of the best times that you've had with the team?
There's a lot. Some of the most memorable are just going to the playoffs and getting the excitement of having fans come out and getting support from the school and just playing those big games.
And being a senior on the team, what's that like for you, showing the younger guys the ropes and teaching them the basics about hockey and just being part of a team?
It's great being part of a team because you get guys who have been playing hockey for, it could be their 8th season coming in as a freshman. Then you could have seniors where it's just their first year. So it's great seeing like younger guys even teach older guys. And then being a senior, you got to coach everyone up. It's not just freshmen. You have to coach up. You have to coach up a lot of people because we have players this year who are seniors and juniors who haven't played for hockey for very long.
So with you guys being 4-0 on the season, what has it taken for you guys to get to that point, especially with your game coming up on Friday night against Ravenwood? What is it taking for you guys to be at that point thus far, to be on such a good roll, even against good teams?
I think just team chemistry. Like all the guys on the team, we hang out with each other all the time. We have good team chemistry. Love every single guy on the team. We connect. We all seem to mesh really well together. So just team chemistry and keeping morale up.
And so going into the playoffs, what are some of the biggest things that you guys typically work on to prepare and be ready for that competition that is so fierce?
I think it's just not trying to overcomplicate things. If you try and get too complicated, you lose out on the basics and the fundamentals. So just got to make sure you reinforce the basics and make sure to play your game.
And so with the other seniors on the team, what's it like been for you guys, having been the senior core? What's it been like for you guys to be some of those leaders, as well as trying to be some of the top scorers in the league and trying to get to that high pinnacle of winning the championship?
It's great being a senior on the team and coaching up all the other guys and being a good example. It's great trying to lead the other guys up. That's what is great about it.
And so with Carson Milnick and Johnny Mignano in net, what's it like with their different play styles?
It's fantastic because they're both fantastic goalies. I can't pick one that's better than the other, so it's always great to have two goalies who you know can get you a win. That's kind of like what it is with the Preds. You know UC can get a win, you know Pekka can get a win, so having the reinforcement that both goalies can step up and win you a game, that gives confidence throughout the entire lineup.
So what is your favorite part about being on the Irish hockey team, and what is some of the best parts about being with Coach Bernstein and the squad?
I think it's not even related to hockey. It's just all the guys there. It's a brotherhood. Like, we all connect really well. It's my favorite moments on the ice. My favorite moments are off the ice, in the locker room, just connecting with the guys one-on-one. And Coach Bernstein has made a great environment for us and really got us to all connect.
Awesome. Well, we thank you very much for joining us today. We really appreciate it, man. And so now we'll be having Coach Bernstein, the head coach of the Father Ryan hockey team, coming in here. As you hear, the ruckus in the background with him coming in. Thank you very much for joining us, Coach Bernstein.
Awesome.
We really
Great
appreciate
to be
it.
here. Yeah, thanks for hosting. This is an impressive setup, to say the least. So congrats on this.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it. So, Coach, going into this season, what are some of the expectations you had for this team that has a lot of new players and a lot of players that may not have played varsity hockey?
A lot of I would say pretty much all of my expectations were around the team continuing to build chemistry across social groups, across class years, across just what I'd say is sort of non-hockey interests. I think that that was the biggest thing that I realized coming aboard as a first-year coach last year, is that we just needed to really work on relationship building. Ultimately, investment in that really translates to everything off the ice and especially on the ice, and so that was our big focus. We wanted to affirm the purpose of the team, which is to serve and honor God, Father Ryan, and each other by competing every day with joy, energy, and integrity. And we have codified that around a mantra of serving and competing. And everybody's, I think, really bought into that, and it showed up in the things we're doing off the ice. We still have a lot of work to do in certain areas around strength and conditioning, but also on the ice, we're off to a great start. We're going to run into some tough teams in the next couple weeks. We played some tough teams already, but by and large, that was coming in. It was get the team chemistry right, and everything would be a function of that to follow.
And so with that, what you guys have been working on offseason is great, because you've already gotten to a 4-0 record thus far on the season, which is very impressive. And you guys are facing some big competition. Who are some of the toughest teams that you think Father Ryan will face coming down the stretch?
Just judging by last year, so a sample of one season, I think Brentwood is the class of the G-Nash League. They are terrific, very deep, very fast. They're players that have grown up together and have that chemistry on the ice, which is evident. I think Hendersonville is very good. NBA is outstanding. I know they graduated a lot of guys, but my understanding is that they brought in a bunch as well. And the hockey term is good teams are called wagons. The Nashville Predators are a wagon, and I think Brentwood, Hendersonville, and the NBAs are the wagons in G-Nash.
And so with that, what has been your guys' changes over after your first season? What have been some of the changes that you've been implementing as far as schemes and as far as the skating ability for some of your players, trying to get them acclimated to the varsity style?
I'd say two things. One, on the varsity level, we've really tried to build out from the defense. Of course, that helps with our goaltending. We're in a really good spot where we have three capable goaltenders. Johnny Mignano, Carson Melnick is a freshman, and we have Nikki Boychuk, who's a sophomore. It's just a huge luxury to have that depth in goal. But implementing a system on the back end where we are collapsing on the front of the net, what teams will call the house, and maintaining discipline so that we're not collapsing down on the breakout, and not to bore you with sort of the inside baseball or inside hockey, if you will, of this, but maintaining discipline so that we can get the puck out of the zone and attack the other way. And it was clear that we just had a lot to coach and build on from that perspective. So we've been breaking the puck out a whole lot better. The second thing has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with Coach McGowan, our head coach of our JV team, and Coach Henry and Coach Lonsway, who are all alumni of the program and of Father Ryan. They are teaching the skill development with our JV players to teach these young men to be able to skate better, be able to pass and shoot better, but also to understand the fundamentals of how to play hockey, just what's called hockey sense. And it's clear that they're coming through and just ramping up the learning curve very quickly, thanks to some great coaching there. And as a result, we're having guys like Nolan White, who just started playing hockey less than 2 years ago, is coming in and scoring his first ever varsity goal, like he did on Monday night. There's a few things that I'm doing, but really it's coming from our development from our JV program.
And so you mentioned earlier with the 2-goalie system, what has it been like for you trying to decide on which goalie to play and when? Yep. And what do you make of Johnny Mignano being a junior and Carson Miller being just a freshman?
It's a great problem to have. Of course, it's still somewhat of a problem. You want to make sure that they're feeling the flow of the season, that they're getting reps. It helps that they're both playing travel, so they're getting reps, playing games, and skating outside of the work they're putting in with our Father Ryan team. One of the interesting wrinkles of this is that Johnny also plays defense, and just a testament to his character, he came up in the summer and said, "Hey, Coach, I just want to let you know, I know we have another goalie coming in. I know he's really talented. I've seen him skate. If you need me at times to play defense, I'll play that. I'll hang the goalie pads up for a night and skate out." And it turns out he's a fabulous defenseman, in addition to obviously being a team-first, incredible person. So we have this luxury where we can put Carson in, who's also just a fantastic young man, mature beyond his years, uber capable. We can put him in goal and have Johnny still in the lineup contributing. And then when Johnny's in, we get Carson a little break, and it's a great 1-2 punch. So it's kind of TBD on how we continue to manage that. I told those guys we don't have a starter and a backup. We have a 1A and a 1B, and it's really hard to tell which is which.
Well, it sounds like definitely a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Coach, we thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully your versatility will pay off on Friday night as you guys face Ravenwood. Well, we thank you very much for joining us here on the broadcast.
Thank you. Thanks for all you guys do for all of the programs at Father Ryan, and best wishes for the rest of your guys' season.
All right,
so
well,
thank
you very much. We appreciate it, Coach.
Appreciate it.